Okay, welcome to another market prep. I guess you can say. I guess it's not really Macro Monday anymore, really, because I want to go over a lot of stuff today, over the market and stuff. Prepare for next week. There's a lot of setups I'm watching, especially going to this week. And there's also one little thing I want to go over really fast that I guess people still do not understand with crypto, which by now is 2026 near the middle. It's May 10th of 2026, and people still do not understand the difference of compound growth. It's actually insane. It's actually insane. It's starting to piss me off, honestly, right? So let me just show you some straight data and facts when it comes to crypto, okay? Bitcoin is the only thing that you should invest in when it comes to crypto, and that is it. Just Bitcoin. Everything else is all piece of shit, okay? But that is really the only thing. If you can take one thing from this video and from this call, that should be only buy Bitcoin and everything else is a piece of shit, okay? That is the only thing you should take from this call because people really do not understand the difference between why Bitcoin is so much better than everything else, okay? Bitcoin has been the best store of value since IPO. ETH has not been the best store of value since IPO. Okay, so there is a lot of things that is wrong when you're trying to invest into altcoins. And a altcoin is any crypto that's not Bitcoin. Okay, so that is just keep this in mind. Okay, so let's actually look at the data first. Okay. I'm sharing Twitter. Oh, actually, it's a photo here. Okay, perfect. So this is the compound annual growth rate since IPO, since their creation. Bitcoin's average annual growth rate is 36.9% a year. Ethereum is 22.16% a year. Okay, that is a 14.74% a year difference. Okay, that is a freaking big difference, a huge difference. Okay, you can see the performance every single year compared to them both. Bitcoin be down only 72%, ETH be down 81. Bitcoin made 98, ETH made 0. Bitcoin did 270, ETH did 423. Really good year for Ethereum. Bitcoin did 73, Ethereum did 436. Really good year. Bitcoin did minus 62, Ethereum did minus 66. Bitcoin did 147. Ethereum did 86, Bitcoin did 135, Ethereum did 55, Bitcoin did minus 17, Ethereum did minus 21, okay? Now, Ethereum looks bigger just because of these 2 years, right? But Bitcoin is still ahead due to compound interest, okay? Bitcoin, 36.9% annual growth rate. Ethereum, 22, okay? It's very simple, very simple. Bitcoin was the best store of value forever. Since its lifetime, okay? So to bet on that changing is basically zero, okay? That is basically just straight gambling, right? Straight gambling because there's hard data since 2018 that Bitcoin is better than any other altcoin, really, especially Ethereum, right? So that does not mean you can't trade Ethereum, for 3 months out to bet on its outperformance. Like on altcoin season, absolutely 100% do that. You'll destroy Bitcoin if you do that. But if you're investing for the next 10 years and you're just buying altcoins, you're going to get fucked, right? It's just very simple. You're going to get screwed, okay? And here's the difference. $10,000 compounding at 22.16% for 10 years becomes roughly 74 grand, okay? $10,000 compounding at 36.9% for 10 years becomes roughly $228,000. That is $150,000 difference from just 14.74% more per year. Okay, so Bitcoin is really the only thing you should do. Okay, and if for some reason that still hasn't convinced anyone or really wrapped their head around it, right? Altcoins. So again, anything that's not Bitcoin is basically just a leveraged ETF for stock or for crypto, just like they do for stocks, right? And what is the number one thing people say when it comes to leveraged ETFs? They're only for trading, not for investing. Okay, it's the same thing with altcoins, right? So for stocks, right, people like comparing it just like stock. We're like, okay, well, I'm buying ETH because of the utility it has, where Bitcoin doesn't have any, right? So Ethereum is better, right? Well, it's not been better since since 2018, right? So at least I'm assuming that's how far back that data goes. I'm not for sure, but I can see from just 2018. I'm assuming this is only pulled from 2018 and up, but it could be from its creation. I don't. I might have said from its creation. I don't really know. I think, but for a fact, at least 2018. Okay, so this is just like kind of. Oh, you can't see that. This is kind of crazy. So now I got lost track. But damn, what did I just say? I got too distracted ranting about this. But oh yeah. So stocks. Let me actually unshare my screen from Twitter and let me actually move it over to TradingView now. Let's see. Dun, 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 dun. All right, here we go. Okay, so basically how people really like it to why people invest in this is due to the utility, right? And they compare that just like a stock, okay? But when you're looking at stock and you're looking at crypto, right? A stock, yes, may have more utility than other stocks, right? They might be better stock, right? And especially the chart is saying bullish, right? Then in the long run, that stock very well may outperform almost every other stock. Let's just say let's say I don't know, Tesla, random example. Let's say Tesla, the next 10 years, right? Their company is going to be doing better than every other stock. Their product is going to be way better. What they're doing is way better. Okay, that stock, Tesla, may do actually better than everything else in the next 10 years. That might be the best store of value. Okay, but when it comes to crypto, when we're looking at ETH, all right, let's just say ETH has a ton of utility, really great crypto coin, and does a lot of stuff in the crypto market, versus Bitcoin doesn't. Okay. Now, in that same scenario, you might look at ETH saying, "Oh, that's undervalued. It's diverging. It's going to catch up with Bitcoin, and it's going to start outperforming Bitcoin in the long run. And in 10 years, you make more money on Ethereum than Bitcoin." Okay, that is the scenario. Okay, which may make sense. I mean, it does. If you don't understand that, when Ethereum falls and Bitcoin falls, Ethereum falls 4 times more, or at least double more than what Bitcoin will fall. When Bitcoin's down 1%, Ethereum will be down 2%, 2.5%, 3%. Okay, so it's just like a leveraged ETF. Okay, Ethereum is just leveraged Bitcoin. When Bitcoin goes down, Ethereum will go down way more when it's not an altcoin season. Now, when it's altcoin season, it might be a little bit different. But of course, everyone should know this. Altcoin season only lasts a short amount of time. It does not last forever, right? So Ethereum will not outperform Bitcoin indefinitely. Only for short periods of times that you can trade to outperform Bitcoin, but not for straight investing. Okay, just have to put that out there. I'm not going to go any more onto this rant, but people just fail to realize that, and they keep wasting all their money, right? It's not saying that Ethereum is not about to outperform Bitcoin. Actually, it does kind of look like that, right? It just means that do not invest into it. Let's see. I'm going to get the other member on here really fast. Oh, there we go. Okay. So I just want to put that out there, right? Bitcoin is literally the only thing you should touch unless you can predict altcoin season, right? I made a lot of money. Me and Bull made a lot of money. Bull bought ETH literally at 1.5 thousand, like around here. It was insane buy. A little early, but insane buy. I bought it once we actually had confirmed this entire uptrend with outperformance right there on this exact candle on that close too. Rode that up to the top. Sold it at the exact top, literally like the second candle, since that was the second week of that underperformance, right? So just want to put that out there. BTC only one you should invest in. Okay, that's all I'm going to say with this. But keep that in consideration. Look at the data. Okay, don't try to bet against the trend. Now, let's get into the overall market and the actual stocks. Okay, Tesla, absolute fantastic week. Absolutely fantastic. We are up almost 9.5% this week. Absolutely crazy. Tesla held amazingly, bouncing off the bottom of the channel. Short-term channel breakout, amazing. Retest, amazing. We're going to see 455 indefinitely. We will. and so that's where I'm looking at. My TSLL position has been performing absolutely fantastic. I bought that retest on Tesla. I'm up a pretty penny. This is also my biggest position. It has been for a while now. So Tesla absolutely fantastic, blessing me right now. Meta, not so much. Not bad at all. I'm break even, like small red position, just because I'm leveraged. But we're still sitting inside this higher low zone, just waiting for a breakout. I think it could happen soon, but as of right now, we're just kind of waiting and seeing. But this is my third biggest. It was my second biggest, but I sold some Meta to buy some more ASTS. So ASTS is actually my second biggest. I moved that over to option. That's right. We'll go with that later. But ASTS is my second biggest position now. But Meta, still, I think it's gonna be pretty good. It's gonna play catch up, but it just needs some more time. But it's still my third biggest. EOC, I bought this at open Friday, so it was literally just free money basically for me. Right, higher low zone held amazingly. We're probably gonna see 1103 for a gap fill, possibly in this purple zone. We do have earnings coming up. I think earnings could definitely rip us higher. I mean, there's a small chance we dump to hit the retest level, but that would form a manipulation leg, and I don't think that's going to happen. So I think this earnings will most likely give us a massive gap up, preferably to this purple zone. But even if it's just a gap fill from this current price, not my average, nowhere near my average, but from this current price, that is still 38% gain, right? Just insane, right? Insane. So earnings can definitely push us up. It can also very well dump us, but I don't see that happening. But very well could, very well could. So that is something to watch. That is just a very small position. Also, MSDR shorts. That is a very small position. Also, it's like I think I actually might know. Nimbus is my smallest. This is my second smallest position. Could really care less. I just threw it in there for fun, really, to bet to see if Bitcoin. Ooh, why did I do that? Just to see if Bitcoin does want to make this false breakout. Right now we were above it. We'll see how it plays out. I'm not sweating at all. Very small position. I mean, it's EOC literally made double of what I'm down at MSDR. So I could really care less. Nimbus still rejecting that wave 5 target. So not a good sign. Definitely not a good sign. That's why Nimbus is my smallest position, because I basically sold everything over here. But overall, Nimbus is definitely not buying opportunity here. Not at all. We could definitely make new highs. That's why I still hold some. But we do have earnings coming up next week. Ooh, actually, I never saw that. Wednesday morning. Huh. CVI, I don't hold anymore. I still like it, though. I mean, I was expecting a retest level hold, and that's what we got. And we're pushing higher. I just saw better opportunities that I liked better, that didn't have so much risk when it comes to oil. But CVI is still good. Still think we're going to see 48. I just like these better, so I rotated out of CVI so I can buy more Tesla, Meta, and ASTS. Now let's move over to ASTS. ASTS is now my second biggest position. We do have earnings coming up. However, every earnings is basically flat. It'll either rip us or it's going to be flat. Earnings never really dumps us, not really. So overall, I'm not really sweating this earnings. Even on the upside, it's not that great. So, ASTS, I'm not too worried about earnings, but it is Monday post market. But again, not sweating it at all. But I mean, this is definitely an A++ setup, holding the bottom of this channel perfectly for this wave E. Absolutely fantastic. I think we're going to see at least $93 for a retest to the top of this wedge, which is. My average is really low, but let's just say from the current price, that is still another 26% gain. So really, really nice play here. And of course, wave 5 target, that's going to be like 115, 114, pretty close. So it's really good setup. Now I'm also going to be watching the long this with options, because this is a really good setup. I think we are going to rip higher, especially for earnings. So Monday morning, I will be looking for calls on this. If we can get some good price action, I'll have to see what open is going to look like. But if we can get some type of retest down or some type of entry for options, I will long options on here. Maybe some longer dated options to bet on this wave 5. But I think ASTS is absolutely fantastic. Same thing goes with PLTR. PLTR, I think, will definitely go up, make new highs here. Maybe not a new all-time high, but we'll at least see 162, possibly 170, maybe 176. I mean, who knows? Maybe all-time high, but that's not my base case. My base case is at least 162. but we are forming a inverse head and shoulders here. We are retesting the bottom of this, you can say, bull flag, the short-term bull flag, with a bullish RSI divergence after this huge manipulation leg from taking out all of these lows right there. A lot of liquidity has been taken. So PLTR will definitely see some more upside, and I will be taking options on this. Friday was a prime day to enter this. Absolutely perfect day to enter PLTR calls, but I missed it. I on a real note, I completely forget I have an option portfolio. I go through streaks where I trade options, and then I just completely forget about it because I end up trading options, and then I end up slacking on my shares for compounding, and then I go focus on that, and then I ditch options for a while, and then I keep swapping back and forth. So I keep forgetting. So I need to start putting them both together because I keep forgetting. I did the same thing with CRWV. I traded with options and never even thought about using shares. So my compound portfolio completely just missed it, which kind of sucks. But oh well. So PLTR and ASTS, I am looking for calls Monday morning if they can give us a good open. So that is something I'll be watching going into this week. So a really big week. Last week was just insane with Tesla. So we'll see what this week has in store for us. I know SPY is definitely, extended, right? But SPY doesn't show anything bearish, right? There's no bearish RSI divergences. There's no rejection. There is no real target, right? Not really, right? So I'm not really seeing anything for SPY that's going to say we're going to pull back. But until we do, other than its RSI, this RSI is touching the trend line, so maybe we could. But until then, I don't really see anything. So SPY just keeps going higher for now. And I mainly think that because of NVIDIA. Also, NVIDIA, there's a good chance that this was wave B. Let me go to the daily. There was a good chance that this was wave B, and now we're pushing for wave C to go reach 250 for wave E. Now, there's also just equally as good chance that this is not wave B at all, and we're about to get wave B for a deeper pullback before a massive leg higher. That is also a possibility, right? Now, I know I said that I want a pullback. I know I've been saying I want a correction this year, but by end of the year now, it definitely does line up. If we do want to correction by end of the year, we're most likely actually going to have to probably correct now for NVIDIA, chop for a while, and then see their leg higher going to the end of the year, maybe Q3, Q4. Now, people have been saying the market is going to pull back 10% due to this new Fed chairman, which I think he will show up by the end of this month or maybe next month. I think it's the end of this month. And when he shows up, people are saying we're going to pull back. Now, that's definitely possible if NVIDIA goes parabolic here for a few weeks to reach that wave E. The faster NVIDIA can reach that wave E, the faster the market can pull back. Okay? So as soon as NVIDIA reaches that wave E and starts rejecting, that is when I think the market's going to absolutely roll over. But until then, the market is bullish. Okay? Now, NVIDIA was fading this high, so there's very well we could be pulling back for wave B, and we haven't had it yet. But until then, higher we go. So we'll see. But overall, that is basically the Mag 7. Tesla, we went over Tesla. Amazon, nothing to see there. NVIDIA, we did that. Microsoft, wave B at 460. Nothing has changed there. Apple still pumping, getting close to that wave 5 target a little bit. Target's 342. Google, still pumping all-time highs. Still bearish RSI divergence, but nothing screaming bearish right this second. Meta, I still want over $1,000, but we got to see how we act to this higher low zone. I think we're going to break out, but we'll see. So we went over crypto, the Mag 7, the overall market. We went over my top picks, what I'm holding, why I'm holding it. Oil is actually pumping in after hours right now, holding that retest level absolutely perfectly like expected. I still am bullish on oil. If you still hold CVI, absolutely don't. I wouldn't be planning on selling that anyways. So CVI definitely looks good. Oil looks good. Water tastes so good. Iran making new highs. Definitely will be watching this with Bitcoin though, right? Although Bitcoin looks like it's breaking out. If it does break out and we do push higher to maybe like 90K, then absolutely maybe this bear case, will be invalidated. Absolutely. I'm A-okay with that. That's why I launched Bitcoin and ETH and Sol before then, right? So, and actually, while we're on crypto, because we did skip it, I know we talked trash about the people investing into altcoins and stuff like that for the long term, but let's just look at the outperformance, right? Because it does look like ETH is about to outperform Bitcoin soon, right? Right now it is, but it's still at 6 days. Almost, it just started, so this is care less about this. So we have a solid 4 weeks straight of underperformance. But you can see that ETH compared to Bitcoin is forming a bull flag. So Ethereum is going to absolutely just crush Bitcoin soon. Soon. Not yet. Not confirmed yet, but soon. Hopefully this week. Hopefully this week, Bitcoin soars, ETH soars more, and we get a 2-week breakout of this wedge, which would signal a altcoin season, and that's when we can get into ETH. But as of right now, we have 4 massive candles of unperforming, and we're still within this bull flag. Okay, so until we break and show that performance, ETH is not there yet. But this is definitely very, very promising, because when we do, this is going to explode, just like we exploded here, right? We're going to see a massive push higher. Okay, that's the reason why I still have ETH right now, even though it's not outperforming yet. But oh well, it was a really good entry, so I kind of had to. But yeah, so that's ETH, Sol. Same thing goes with Sol. Sol outperformed Bitcoin last week. Yeah, so Sol actually did see a 15% week, while Bitcoin only saw a 4.5% week, while ETH was only up 2%, right? So Sol did finish 1 week of outperformance. Okay, that's a good sign. That's a good sign. So now we need to keep that up this week, and that might actually show a bull run for Sol compared to Bitcoin. So that is something to be watching also. So overall, when this altcoin season happens with ETH and Sol, it's going to be massive. A lot of stuff is going to explode, but it's just too early to get into it right now. So that's crypto. That's stocks. Is there anything y'all want to go over while I am here? Put it in the chat, not the live stream chat, but into the actual main chat, so I can see it. I'll give y'all a second to do that. DoorDash sitting at that retest level, hasn't really moved. TTD, still don't like TTD. Netflix, what's Netflix doing? Nothing much. Not really seeing too much, to be honest. Net, yeah, lets me review Net. Holy moly, earnings were awful. Haven't charted this name in years. Let's see. Okay, all-time lows right there. For me, just eyeballing it, it does look like could be a few things. Could look like this. 3, 4, 5, that's wave 5 top. Or this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, extend to wave 3. This is wave 4, pushing for wave 5. Let's see where this lines up with the fib. Not deep enough. So we're going to try to aim for... It is pissing down rain right now. We're going to try to aim for... Yeah, to be honest, this bison is really big, so just at 50% fib. Yeah, so we haven't hit the bison yet. Yeah, not really looking good on our side either. So huge manipulation leg, absolutely massive manipulation leg, and that's what I'm saying. Earnings does feel the move. Feel the move. We never hit the bison. You think earnings just push us to all-time high? Well, actually, it didn't. It didn't. It fell a few pennies short. So, see, exactly. Does it push us to all-time high? Manipulation leg, and we push down to the bison. So that is what I expect for net. I expect the pullback to the $150 range, $120 range. But, I guess it all depends on the market. If the market does just continue to rally for Ethereum move, then maybe this just keeps going up. But I'm not going to look too long this until we see that green zone. Let's see. Yeah, 310 will be the wave 5 target. So overall, this was all just wave B. Just like this. So net target is 147, 148, possibly even lower before we can see the 310 level. There's also a possibility that this is wave 3, wave 4, and wave 5, and this is actually the top. And this never sees outperformance this cycle, or I keep this cycle, this bull market, if the market really does enter a correction near the end of this year or next year. But overall, still see the screen zone and then push up to 310.